Right, guys, so today's an exciting one. It's the product review on the Bush Company's new LX27 Lightweight Clamshell Rooftop Tent. Now, guys, this has been a few years in the making, and many of you have been asking, hey, Dean, when is the Bush Company coming out with a slim profile, lighter weight rooftop tent? And looking at, well, a lot of things, different products on the marketplace, getting some ideas, mainly from feedback from you guys. I want to thank you guys that have got our AXs and so on, and our other rooftop tents, just giving us that feedback of what you're looking for. The whole focus on this tent was not just to bring the thinnest rooftop tent I could find to market. It's very easy to cut weight by making it super small, taking most of your things out. The reality is half the time you can't even store your bedding on the inside of these. So what I ended up designing was a slimline, lighter weight rooftop tent that can still carry bedding. So it still fits into that class of touring rooftop tent. So you can have all of your goodies stored up the top there while still hitting the trails and so on. You don't have to always remove everything before you go out somewhere. Anyway, let's get into it and go through the actual tent. So on our product to start with, we have got a fully extruded alloy frame. Now, what the extrusions do, and where we came up with the extrusions way back in 2016 and 17, was the fact that we are able to change the alloy composite. So it's not just off-the-shelf standard soft alloy or a construction grade alloy, which might be a lot heavier duty. It's actually our own formulation. We can get the guys at the mills to extrude it to what we want, whether you want it more marine resistant, for example, more salt proof, whether you want it stronger as far as tensile strength goes, or more flexibility in the actual alloy. So it does allow it. So running the Bush Company BTEC alloy, we've got a fully welded external frame. There are fully welded corners, and they're actually double skinned corners. So making it extremely strong, waterproof and dustproof. Now, we've got an automotive seal running all the way around the tent. So it does not matter which way you want your tent to be situated, and whether it's reverse setup or forward setup or even sideways, as some guys like running on the top of trucks. The other thing is the tent is perfectly rectangular. So instead of having a tapered front edge, which restricts you to one direction of attaching a tent, you can have the versatility of attaching your tent in multi-directions, as well as having either your head or your feet up either end of the rooftop tent. It is absolutely entirely up to you. Now, other than the actual alloy tent, it has an aluminium roof construction with a really lightweight plate that we've added on the top end. And as you can see, we've actually rigidized the top of the plate. So what it does, it's made up of a whole bunch of little bumps and ridges that actually gives the plate stiffness and firmness into the construction of that. Underneath the rooftop tent, we have got east-west mounting rails. That is also an extruded product, taking a 8mm bolt or hex bolt that can slide into position. So if you did want to mount this tent dead flush onto a roof rack, it has the ability to do so, obviously depending on the layout of your roof rack and so on. Now, getting into the actual dimensions of the tent is sitting at 1,390, so 1,390 millimeters wide in the frame itself. With gas struts added onto the sides, you're sitting at about 1,450 mil. In the length of it, 2,250, as all of our tents are the same length, we find that's a really happy medium. So even if you are 6'4", you can even fit into one of our rooftop tents quite easily. So 2,250 long. If you take into consideration total length, that includes the latches and the hinges, just over 2.3 meters of total length. Now, as far as the low profile goes, only 173 millimeters high. If you do add your additional mounting north-south foot rails, which is a bolt-on extra, then it does take it up to 195 millimeters high. Now, having the dual top rail and bottom rail extrusion all the way around the tent, we can attach multiple accessories to this rooftop tent, from load bars, solar panels, you name it, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the video. Now, as you can see, we've got our rear-mounted step ladder mount, which attaches onto there. Now, all of the Bush Company handles, hinges, and latches are all made out of stainless steel and powder-coated black, just giving you that extra protection. So if you do scratch it by accident, or you do drive through the bush and hit something pretty hard, it's not just going to rust through and go crazy. So it is giving you that extra protection on there. So as far as inclusions into or with the Bush Company LX27 Rooftop Tent, comes with the following products. So firstly, you get your rooftop tent fully packaged up in a box, as well as a free step ladder. Now, the step ladder is our new compact step ladder, so giving you a nice thin rung. But not only is it a thin rung that you need to worry about, every single step is actually angled upwards. So when the ladder is pitched out, as you can see at an angle, the foot actually levels out. So it's definitely far easier on your feet than ladders that we used to have back in the day. So the compact ladder is really, really easy, and it extends all the way up to 2.6 meters high, which is absolutely massive. I'll just pop that down to the side. Now, additional to that, we have got a full bracket mounting kit supplied, which comes in a little packet like that, and that's basically all your attachment brackets, giving you a start that'll cover 80% of roof racks, whether it's pinching down or fastening down onto some load rails. Now, also in the kit is your instruction manual, as well as an additional ladder mounting bracket. You can see there's one on the rear, and we supply that fully mounted from the get-go. Now, you have the option whether you want to attach this either on the left side or the right-hand side, depending if you would like to left, right, or rear enter your rooftop tent. Now, additional to that and the ladder bag, it actually comes with a set of free north-south running extruded rails. Now, I'll just stand up and show you these. But effectively what it is, it's two full-length rails that bolt in underneath your east-west mounting rails. And this will allow you to down bolt or side bolt. A lot of the cases you might have a roof rack where you want to span over a larger area where you can't connect multiple rungs underneath the tent. So these can be bolted underneath, giving you that load carrying capacity over a longer gap, to bridge a longer gap. So these also come inside the box with your product. Now, getting onto the tent, and as far as opening up goes, you've got the two latches which you release. On these latches you have got a padlock hole, or a hole available to run a padlock. So if you are running fishing rods, a hunting rifle, or just want to lock things away on the inside of your rooftop tent, that does have that capability on the sides. Releasing your two stainless steel hatches like that, all you have to do is give the tent a slight bump, like such, and the gas struts actually do the heavy lifting for you. Now, these tents will lift up with 35 kilograms on the roof and can take a maximum weight loading when closed of 100 kilos. So you can easily run a mixed variety of accessories on the roof, or still transport your kayaks, stand-up paddle boards, snow skis, you name it, things like that. Now, the bungee cord helps pull in the canvas, so simply pull that down into position like that. And inside of the rooftop tent, you will find your spring rods. So these are the 7mm spring rods that we've used on all of our model tents, including the AX and the TX. And they simply attach into the stainless steel inserts on the corners of the tent, pulling it back and allowing the rain fly to pull tight. Now, guys, on the rain fly, it is a 260 gram polycotton ripstop canvas. Now, this is the same canvas that we use on the tents and all of our tents. In the LX, we have dropped down the weight of the canvas from our other tents, which is sitting at around the 320 mark, to a dual layered 260 mil. So like the Bush Company is renowned for its dual layering tent, we haven't steered away from that at all. It is a full double layered canvas, which basically means we go and sew two complete tents separately and then sew them together. So what we are left with an external roll down canvas door, a mid door which is made out of a midgie mesh, as well as an internal canvas door on the setup. Now, in the top of the tent, right at the top there, as you can probably see, is our condensation air vent. Now, that is going to help those really cold nights when you have got everything zipped up and you still need air to escape. Bearing in mind, condensation buildup on the inside of the tent is caused from our body heats and as well as the moisture you are actually breathing out of your lungs at night. So the best way to remedy that is to have a window, as they would say, cracked open or zipped open in our case, where your airflow can actually flow through and you can get rid of some of the moisture. Now, before we go and talk about the inside of the tent, I just want to talk about the rainfly itself. Now, on the rainfly, we have got effectively the rainfly being able to fasten all the way at the top. So let's say you were in an extremely windy area. You can, as an option, take your rainfly, fold it in like such, roll it all the way to the top there. We've got these two toggles which you can simply use to fasten the rainfly neat and easy and out of the way, like you can see. The other option is, say the wind comes up just a little bit and you just want to firm it up and it's raining outside, so you obviously want to keep the rain off the majority of your canvas, as well as keep your windows cracked open so that you've got some nice fresh airflow coming through while it's raining. Simply leave your rainfly up like such, and we do provide 2 storm straps with the actual product, as you can see over here. Now what these do is they clip onto these 2 little plastic D-rings like that, and then into that same hole that you use for your padlock on both sides like that, and bring it down to there, and then we can simply tension it up. And what this will allow us to do is basically pull tension on the canvas, reducing that flapping at night while you're trying to have a rest. You can see how nice and firm that makes it. Now, in our handle, and as many of you do know, we sew in multiple handle straps or loops into the pull-down handle. So when you are standing on a ladder, you can actually stretch up, grab multiple of these as you are closing the rooftop tent. Now guys, come and have a look on the inside of the rooftop tent and we can actually discuss that part of it. So here we are inside the rooftop tent, and one of the first features that you notice is the light on the roof. Now this is a removable battery powered light, so if you do get up in the evening and you need to go to the toilet, you can actually take it with you. The other handy thing about this, probably runs for 3 to 4 nights on a single charge without any dramas, and being magnetic, you can actually stick it to the side of your motor vehicle as well. Now just pop it up into its place there on the top light mounting bracket. Now the roof of this tent is fully lined with a insulated material and roof liner, giving it a really nice plush look in the grey. Now also on the roof we have got a rooftop tent organizer. Now the organizer is made up of 2 individual pockets on the sides, which are zippable, closable pockets, as well as a central pocket, which is wide enough if you do want to hang an iPad, for example, you can actually hang an iPad off with an iPad clip into position, for example, and or use it for shoe storage at night. Now, in the corners of the tent on either side, we've got water bottle holder storage. So you have got the ability to store your water bottles in the corners without any dramas at all. The other thing that you notice is the sheer size and volume of this tent. To give you guys an idea, I'm sitting at just over 6 foot tall, and I can actually stand up inside this clamshell tent with my head slightly bent at the top and actually pull my pants up. Now that might sound really funny, but it does allow a lot easier use when you are getting changed in the morning to be able to lift your arms up to pull a shirt on or pull your pants up. You're not lying in a very low product, not giving you room. Now, in saying that as well, I can easily scoot up to one side of the tent, for example there, while my partner can sit opposite me and we can actually talk or play a game of cards in here as well. So that is one of the big things that I do want to push on. It is, even though being lightweight and smaller in frame and stature as it were, the tent itself is designed to be a fully functional touring tent. Now down the bottom corners on either side, we've got dual pockets, perfect place to store your phones while charging, your GoPros, you name it, whatever you might want to keep in the pockets and charge. Now we made it really simple on this one, and down the entire footwell of the tent is our power outlet system. In there, you've got twin USB outlets, so 4 USBs in total, with the resettable thermofuse, as well as twin integrated SIG 12 volt outlets. So you can run a mixed array of accessories that run on 12 volt in there. Now these are simply powered from an Anderson plug underneath the tent. So when running off of your dual battery system or plugging into a house battery, you can simply plug the tent in and the tent is pre-wired for you. Now, as I was saying before on the double skin canvas, the nice thing about that is it gives you way more thermal properties. So whether you're insulated from the cold or insulated from the heat, it is allowing that air layer between the two canvases that help with thermal properties, and doubling that is your waterproofness of the tent. Now the canvas itself is made of 260 gram polycotton ripstop canvas infused in an acrylic resin, and that is actually protecting the canvas from UV as well as waterproofing it. Now, up either side of the tent in the corners is our cable storage holders, or basically what we call our trunking setup. So if you are running a 12 volt cable to the top for say a fan setup, and I'll show you that a bit later, you can actually run your 12 volt cable all the way up in the sides of the tent, and it keeps it nice and out the way. Now, getting onto the mattress, this is the discussion that is of every rooftop tent, is like, how thick is your mattress? And I want you to think about it slightly differently. Not how thick is your mattress, but for example, how dense is it or what's it made of? We spent hours and hours and hours trying multiple configurations of mattress material. So what we have right at the bottom is a closed cell 10 millimeter thick insulated bottom floor. Now that is going to help for your condensation. So what some guys refer to as a condensation mat, we've got a fully lined high density closed cell foam lying on the bottom on the tent, which is going to help you for that condensation and that heat transfer. Not just that, but it actually acts as a first stage of a mattress, if you want to call it that. So we refer to the LX27 of having a 3-stage mattress setup. So 1 is the bottom closed cell layer, and 2 is the twin layer inside the mattress cover itself. Now that is comprised of a high density foam sponge sitting at 40 millimeters with a 10 millimeter topper memory foam sponge, and that's just giving you that soft plush feel on the top. Now as far as the mattress size goes, the mattress is 1280 wide by just over 2.1 meters long. So as I said before, plenty space whether you want to sleep with your head down the bottom like such, or other way around with your feet down the bottom and your pillows and your head up the air side, if you want to call it that, where you've got access to all 3 windows. Now on the sides of the tent as well, and having the inner canvas and the outer canvas, this gives you the ability to adjust your airflow and the tent's internal temperature by simply zipping up your internal canvas like such and tucking the excess in like that. Now that allows your head to say be below the cold air coming in, but still getting beautiful fresh air coming in and out the rooftop tent. Now if it is raining a bit, you simply have to zip it up a little bit more. The rain fly will stop the rest, and you can actually look out and see everything, even on those lovely rainy nights or / rainy days. Now the midgie mesh is made there for all your small sand flies and midges on the inside there, and it's an extremely strong mesh. Now ours zips like so on, and it hangs down from the top, so when you are entering the tent, it does stop those sneaky little mosquitoes and bugs from flying into a big cavity. Now on this as well is you get a lot of this fabric, which is extremely cheap in the marketplace, but not just cheap from a cost perspective, but actually cheaply made. Now this is an incredible polyester product that has got, say, a rubber coating on the outside, which keeps it really strong. But you can literally pull as hard as you really want to on this, as you can see, and it is strong. So even if you are climbing over it on an entrance, you do not have to fear. It is actually a product which is manufactured in Japan. We send it all the way to South Africa, where the rest of our product is manufactured. And for those of you who don't know, all of our aluminium is made in South Africa, as well as our canvas is actually physically milled, dyed, and waterproof there. Not having the access to all the meshes in the world, I managed to find this coming out of Japan. So top notch on that product, making what we feel is the best rooftop tents in the world. Now, guys, that is pretty much the internals of the tent. As I said before, spacious, power down the bottom there, accessories on the roof which you can attach on, and your positive or your vent in the top, your condensation vent on the top as well. Now let's go take a look at some of the accessories that are available for the LX27 rooftop tent. So guys, talking about accessory brackets. Now there's a wide variety of accessory brackets available for the LX27 rooftop tent. And in no ways is this tent weaker than any of our others per se. In fact, we can have our load bars on the top, awnings mounted to the side really, really easily, and it definitely has the strength and capabilities of carrying that. So let's discuss some of these brackets while I am here and we have a few bolted to the rooftop tent. So first up is our awning to tent brackets. Now, awning to tent brackets are actually made up in 4 different pieces. So we've got this L-shaped bracket which goes around the rear and the front of the tent, as well as this bracket which can either be mounted in a upright position or flip it over, and it can be mounted in a downward position. Say you had a vehicle that was extremely tall, like a Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier, and you wanted to get your awning lower than the mounting of your rooftop tent. You can turn these simply downwards, adjust your awning to be lower of the vehicle so you can actually reach the top of it. And if you wanted to get a lot higher, vice versa, just flip it upwards and you can adjust it up. Now, the sides and the back, basically the L brackets of these formats, they go around the back and the front of the tent. And what that does, it spreads the loads. If you do have a full freestanding Bush Company awning open and the wind is picking it up, and as you know, our awnings are so strong that you're putting a lot of tension on the extrusion of the tent on this back corner. It's just going to spread the load across the entire rear rib and front rib of the tent as well. So spreading that extra load forces there, which just allows an extremely strong mounting point. A lot of guys ask us on the different weights of awnings that you can carry. Guys, you can carry our 270 XT Max awning quite easily on this, which is one of the largest awnings in the industry without any legs at all. So fully freestanding on our Max, no problems at all. Next up, we have load bars. So in this video, you can see that we've got different products actually attached to our load bars. But our adjustable load bars can be used just as load bars. And yeah, we have 3 of them attached to the top of the roof here. So if you did want to carry your stand-up paddle boards, your kayaks, fishing rods, bicycles, you name it on the roof, you can do it. And for your do-it-yourselfers, if you're going to buy that IKEA furniture for the weekend, or the table, or a bit of timber to do some woodworking at home, you are more than able to load up to 100 kilograms on the top of this without any dramas at all. So those of you who are traveling around and need that extra carrying capacity, go for it. Now, our load bars have actually got M8 slots, so 8mm slots in them. So you can take any 8mm fastener or any additional product that you want to permanently mount onto the load bars with using an M8 bolt. And we have got the top, the front, and the rear slot available for you to use. And it's really, really simple to remove the end caps and attach that. Now on the top here, we have got the Bush Company's 200-watt lightweight solar panel. And I must be honest, this pairs perfectly with the LX rooftop tent in the consideration of weight saving. So this mounted there gets mounted on with our lightweight solar panel mounting brackets, and these are our solar panel to load bar brackets. So instead of having an independent freestanding solar mounting system, these actually attach to the load bars which you might already have, therefore just utilizing less bracketry and having less weight on the actual tent. Very, very easily can mount a wide variety of solar panels as well. So anywhere from your 100-watt panels right up to a big 400-watt panel if you so choose. Now on the front of the tent over here, we've actually got our Recovery Trax mounting bracket. And this is our Recovery Trax to load bar bracket. And it's the same bracket that we use on the AX27, the TXs, TX Maxes, you name it. It's basically attaches onto any of the Bush Company's load bars. Now, this is a typical situation or mounting setup that we do on the LX rooftop tents. A pair of recovery boards, whether it be Maxtrax or treads or so on, weigh in the region of about 13 kilograms. So there is a fair bit of weight in them. So we can generally on the LXs mount these up near the hinge end of the tent. So as you can imagine, as the hinge end, as the tent opens up, your weight is actually shifting down towards the hinges on that fulcrum point, allowing the top to lift up easily. So and this is a typical situation where the heavier product is down near the hinges and the lighter weight product, in this case being the solar panel, is near the latches at the opening end. Now, one of the most popular accessory brackets we have at the Bush Company actually is our Sirocco fan mounts. So let's go on the inside of the rooftop tent and I'll show you what our Sirocco fan mounting plate actually looks like. So with the simple removal of your light mounting plate, you can attach the Sirocco fan mounting plate in its place. Now, what this does allow is it allows for one section of the bracket to actually hold your Sirocco fan and the other section to hold your plate. Now, because of our cross members in the LX27 having multiple nutsert in an M6 size holes in place, you can actually attach this bracket either dead center or have one on either side. So if you did want to run 2 fans inside the tent, you can. So simply, once that's in place, you take your Sirocco fan, you slide that into position wherever you might need it, for example, over there. And that's one of the reasons why we use these fans, is they've got a full swivel head, which can be on either person or swivel in any direction with a timer, and they're really silent. Now, as far as the lead goes, with the cable slide up the side of the rooftop tents, you can simply take your 12-volt cable, extension lead, run it up from your power bank down the bottom, or your distribution bank, and then simply plug that into position. Now, not just that, but as I said before, the light itself can actually come back into position, for example, over there, which is really, really easy. And then you have got your instant lighting back in position. Easy done. Well, guys, that just about runs through the entire LX27 rooftop tent, as well as all the accessory brackets that we have for the tent. For more information, pop to our website at thebushcompany.com. Thank you so much for watching this full review, and don't forget to go bush. I'll catch you later.